Hello and welcome you to all. The objective of this presentation is to give an overview of the post 5G launch scenario at Wavecon Telecom. My name is Dhaval Patel. In this presentation, we will be looking at how the 5G launch affected revenue and which KPIs are underperforming. In addition, I'm going to discuss how individual plans uh, are performing over the course of this post-launch and what we recommend going forward to defy the challenges that we have faced. So without wasting a time, let's get into it. So let's start with the big picture, the executive summary. Wavecon generated total revenue of 31.9 billion between January and September 2022. However, after the 5G launch, revenue actually dipped by 0.50% from 16 billion before 5G launch to 15.9 billion user. The average revenue per user sits around 200 Indian rupees, and we have 12.6 million unsubscribed users, which is a number that needs serious attention. 5 key findings drive this entire presentation, and we'll unpack each one of them in the following slide. So what exactly happened to revenue after 5G launch? As you can see, the overall change was minus 0.50%. Now that might sound small, but when you break into city or when you break it down to the city, the story becomes more interesting. Cities like Delhi, Chennai, Ahmedabad show significant declines. Delhi dropped by 2.83%. But on the other hand, cities like Lucknow, Gurgaon, and Patna actually grew post 5G. So the 5G launch didn't impact all market equally. And that's an important insight for where to focus next. So looking at the KPIs, we have four to evaluate. Revenue is a concern at minus 0.50%. ARPU, which is average revenue per user, is underperforming. Users are not spending more despite having access to a better network. TAU, which is total active users, remains stable. So retention is actually healthy. But the most critical KPI is TUSU, which is total unsubscribed user, which is 12.6 million unsubscribed user. Churn accelerated after 5G launch. This tells us that while network improved, the value proposition for the end user wasn't strong enough to retain them. So we have discussed the revenue performance among the cities, then the KPIs that are performing and doing reasonably well. Now, which plans? Now, plans here is like subscription are winning and which are losing. On the positive side, the three newly launched 5G plans, P11, P12, and P13, are performing very well. P11 alone is generating between 414 million and 486 million per month. This figure is into Indian rupees. And P1, the existing top plan, has maintained its dominance. On the other hand, on the other side, as you can see, uh, the plans P5, P6, P7 have declined significantly after the 5G launch. Now, P7 in particularly has nearly collapsed. So these plans need immediate review. Now, as a part of strategic move, three plans were discontinued entirely after 5G launch: P8, P9, and P10. These plans stop appearing in the data from June onwards. The reason is clear. These were lower bandwidth, lower revenue plans that become obsolete once the 5G infrastructure was in place. So they have been directly replaced by the new 5G native plans such as P11, P12, and P13. This was a deliberate and smart portfolio simplification. So now let's take a look at the market share. Wavecon consistently hold around 10% of the market, placing it fourth among the five competitors. Jio, on the other hand, is dominant player at 34 to 37% market share. The good news is that Wavecon's share grew slightly from January to September by 0.57%. And interestingly, Vodafone's shares are declining. which is which actually presents the direct acquisition opportunity for Wavecon with the right 5G price strategy. So based on this analysis, we have 5 recommendations. First, boost ARPU, average revenue per user, by running targeted upselling campaigns to migrate users from older plans to new 5G plans. Second, address the churn urgently, particularly in the area of Delhi, Chennai, and Ahmedabad, where revenue declined the most. That why customers are leaving and looking after for the another service provider. Third would be double down on cities that shows a positive momentum, such as Lucknow, Gurgaon, and Patna. Fourth would be accelerate awareness of P11 and P12 plans users among the existing 4G users. And the last would be adopt a competitive 5G pricing strategy to captivate and capture the Vodafone's or other competitors' declining user. So these are the 5 recommendations that we proposed at the based on the analysis of this particular Wavecon. Now to summarize, the 5G launch had a marginal revenue impact of minus 0.5%, but the bigger opportunity is clear. Converting active users to higher value 5G plans will drive average revenue per user growth, and targeted retention effort in underperforming cities will reduce churn. So thank you for your time, and I hope that this analysis is direct and provides a clear direction for Wavecon's next phase of 5G growth.